G'day guys and welcome to the Centre Bounce for my round 15 round review. Let's go. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I scored 4 twos if you don't mind. 2, 2, 2, 2. Too good, dare I say it. Sorry about that. I couldn't resist. But yes, it was a good week. Good week. Top 4% score. Could have done better if it wasn't for unfortunate feeds and injuries. But 2,222, I am very happy with that score. We climb up another almost 1,500 spots during these buy rounds. And we are, for the first time all year, inside the top 3,000 people. I'm not going to look at this week. Round 16 is going to be brutal beyond belief, but I'm just happy with where we're at the moment with 9 out of 11 league wins. And it wasn't too bad. We're in the top 2%. Hopefully we can get a top 1% finish this year, but it's going to be tight. Cash gen has been brutal, and we've had to make some different sorts of trades, as you guys would have seen during the course of the year. Holmes with a 110. He's been a good trade in for me. Clark with a 119. Again, he's been pretty decent and should have scored more if not for some clangers early on in the piece. Zorko managed to worm his way up to 105. It wasn't looking good for a period of time there. Whitfield was gone early. That really sucks because Whitfield was in a tremendous vein of form and only scored this 16, which obviously did not count for this week. And when it comes to the best 18, you really want 18 premium scores, don't you? You really want those 18 to be the scores from your premiums. And unfortunately, we lost one there. Stewart, wonderful with a 118. I always knew that there was a lot of value in that pick. And Callum Mills was who we brought in this week. We brought in Callum Mills, and I am very, very happy. We did it by trading out Lockie Neal. What did Lockie Neal end up scoring? Lockie Neal dropped another 24,000 because he scored a whopping 72. Get around us. We made 49 points. 49 points and lots of money because he dropped 24.1. Meanwhile, Mills went up 38.4. We made over $60,000, 60,000 and 50 points. How good is that? So I'm very happy with that sort of move, which enabled me to have funds in the bank to be able to upgrade my F6 position this week. So that was excellent. Brayshaw 103. We wasn't sure really how we were going to go, considering the conditions at Optus, considering the rain and the fact that the State of Origin was being played there the night before. I was a little bit uncertain as to whether Brayshaw would be okay, and he was performing quite poorly. Definitely worked his way into the game in the second half and started to dominate. But Sarong owners rejoicing, he scored much better than Brayshaw this week. Butters with the 130. You guys called it out that Butters loves to play against the Swans, and he did it again with a 130. Was sort of ruining my opportunity there, not having the VC on him instead of having the VC on George Hewitt. But thank God I didn't have the VC on Butters, because if I did, then I would have taken Butters' score. But because I had it on George, it meant that I stuck with Bontempelli. My boy, we kept the faith. Marcus Bontimus Aurelius, we kept the faith. He had 2 poor weeks in a row by his standards, a 101 and a 66. But we knew that we had to keep the faith, play, be strong. In Bont we trust. Bont is Bont. And he went ballistic with 177 Supercoach points, 36 disposals, and 3 goals, if you don't mind. What a ledge. What a star. What a goat. Dacos with a 157. Did very, very well. She's keeping the score of over 100. Very good. Very good. We like to see it. Dunks was the line that we held. We traded out Neil and kept Dunkley. Very happy with that 50-50 call. Dunkley, good boy. And Merritt, again, another bad game by his standards. And we lost by 41 points. And yet he still scored a 92. Like, that's the thing with him. Like, you could say that he's been a bad trade. He only had 17 disposals. And most of them were handballs. And yet he still scored 92. So is it unfortunate? Is it annoying? Look, he doesn't look that good to the eye, unfortunately, as the skipper. Going through a tough period at the moment. But the scoring is there. I think he's maybe playing with something, and the bye was really important for him to come now. Gets an important week to rest. He has been a shell of himself, but he's still scoring 90s and 100s. So I'm believing in a strong second half for Zachy Boy Merritt. Zach Johnson hardly touched the pill, unfortunately. Sherry and DeConning, dumb and dumber in the ruck this week, unfortunately. Sherry, we told you, being double teamed, don't go for the VC on Sherry. And DeConning, with Pitane named, obviously don't go with him. So both of them sputtered up for me this week, which is very unfortunate. You don't really want your two rucks. And then you watch Max Gorn now. Max Gorn will probably score these two combined next week, for all we know. So that's a bit disappointing. Baz with an 85. Him and the rest of the Cats are a bit off, obviously getting spanked by the Lions, which was so funny to see. I love it. I love it so much. All of the white shirts in the crowd, mate, the players thought you were waving white flags. They surrendered. They surrendered. That was awesome. Caleb Daniel, the 91. I'll take that in the forward line. And the other boy we traded, it was, of course, big boy Sam Darcy, the unicorn, the very, very tall giraffe-esque unicorn. A Gerunicorn? I want to come up with a new nickname for this guy. A Uniraf. Okay, I'll stop there. Sam Darcy. Oh, my boy. My boy. I'm so glad I got you in. 5 goals, 144 points. He was so close to hitting his break even. He only lost 1.6k, but I could not give two rats craps because 144, what a stellar score for him. I adore. And then obviously he goes into play, and Clark worked his way into the game and managed to finish off on 65. So that was how the team performed. We obviously could have done better if the rucks weren't spuds and if Whitfield didn't get injured so early. He will be eligible to play, thankfully, in round 17 right off the bye. It will be literally the last day. So he manages to sneak in to play against West Coast. So thankfully, he gets the week off. The HIA comes during a period of time where he was going to have the bye anyway. So dodged the bullet there for all intents and purposes. And so that's the team. And as I said last week, we are so low on trades that we cannot get 23 genuine premiums. We're going to have to play it in a way where we're just going to have McCarthy be our flex and provide coverage between the defense and the midfield. So I think this is just what I'm going to do. And obviously, it's the trades that we did last week to open up this amount of cash by coming here to the trade history. It was Gray and Neil. So Gray, we know, is injured severely, so he's not going to play. So Gray and Neil for Mills and Darcy, the two boys that went very big very happy about that. And so we gained points and we gained salary. So what we're going to do is we just trade out Stone using the money in the bank, 480k. And as was the plan, it was to wait for the horny one to drop in price just that little bit so that we can afford him. And the plan played out to perfection. Obviously, not every plan works, but this plan did. And I feel like a mastermind right now that I got in the two big boys before they jumped up in price, that I traded out the right lion, and that we're getting him in just as we hoped we would get him. And now his break even is 54. So he should go back up in price. We got him at his bottom at 472k 600. And then this is the team now, ladies and gentlemen. This is my team moving forward for the rest of the year, pending injuries, which are bound to happen. There are still lots of football to come, and I only have 3 trades. And the bench is not that great. I hope Gross gets a game and becomes a warm body on the bench, hopefully. I'm confident Zach Johnson stays, so he can beat coverage on the bench. And I'm confident that Clark also plays on the wing, and he gives us coverage in defense as well. So hopefully, so really it's the forward bench that's the most dreadful moving forward, because Simpson, obviously, we know is injured also. And no players around the ground at all have forward DPP, which is, of course, very nerve-wracking. But there's nothing I can do about that. So, this week, though, as I'm foreshadowed, is going to be a brutal week for me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I only have 16 players this week in best 18. I am screwed beyond belief, but I don't even care. Because the Bombers are on the bye, and I don't have to watch football this week. So, we'll see what happens. I know it's going to be a tough one. O'Connell probably does not get a gig. Campo probably does not get a gig. Gross probably does not get a gig. In the unlikely event that somehow 2 of these 3 people play, which is ridiculously low right now, but if 2 of the 3 somehow manage to get a game this week of all weeks, I know I'm in the Lord's good books, is all I have to say. So this is what I've got. What are my VC and C plans for the week going to be? Have not thought about it at all. Who's the Bont got this week? Bont's got the SCG Swans. The Swans. What's he been like against the Swans at the SCG? Let's pull it up, actually. Let's go to our trusted DFS Australia, if you know that reference. Australia, Kangaroo. And we go to player summary, and we're looking up Marcus Bontimus Aurelius. Marcus Bontimus Aurelius. Okay. Let's see how he plays. What's his history like at the SCG? Show us. 109, 131, 101, 166, 92. Okay, so there seems to be one good, one very good, one not so good, one excellent, one not as great, one excellent, one not as great. The track record would suggest that we should be getting a 130 type score this week. Should be a 130 type score this week. Let's roll it with Bond, because Bond is Bond. Collingwood has West Coast. Ooh. I think we Chuck the C on Nick Dacos. Been a long time since I've lost Captain Nick Dacos. Holy shawarma. When was the last time I did that? Feels like an eternity ago. Nick Dacos. The golden child of the AFL. Now, I'm going to say, I reckon, yes, he should have got free kicks for the way Marcus Winhager manheld him. Sure, I get that. But he is not the only player in the existence of the game that has had to go through that crap. Look after all of the players that are tagged, not just Nick. Hopefully the golden boy enables the umpires to finally look at the other stars in the comp and to look after them as well when they are getting harassed as well. So I'm not holding it against you, Nick. Nothing against you, okay, as a person. You deserve the free kicks when you deserve a free kick. But there are heaps of other people that get tagged and cop it the same, if not worse sometimes. And they need to be protected as well. So, yeah, hopefully you are the precursor for better umpiring. Got a 147 on them last year. He could do it again. So, that's what I'm doing, probably. Probably what I'm doing. Could go with Darcy. Is there really anyone in the back line there that can stop Darcy? Probably not. Interesting. How's Butters go against Carlton normally? Zach Butters. Zachary. Oh, jeez. Terrible spelling. Zach Butters. But I think I'm happy with that. Bont into Dacos. I think I'm pretty comfortable with that one against the Blues, who did lose. Well, hasn't really popped off at all. Does that mean that he's been tagged? Yes. That's exactly what that means. Tagged. Injured. We'll probably maybe get tagged again. So we're happy to go with Bont into Dacos this week. Call it a week. Call it a day. Maybe even call it a year. We'll see what happens from here on out. But the problem really was that all of these rookie downgrades that we've done in recent weeks either died or are round 16 players. So yes, this is what we've got at the moment. Let me know what your trades are. Let me know what you think is your weak link in the team. For sure, my forward pinch is pretty bad. But let me know if you've got a full team, if you have a finished team. Do you have 23 premiums, or are you like me with 22 and a McCarthy? Let me know in the comments down below. Look forward to hearing from you guys, because you guys have you as always. You guys make this what it is. Because if you don't watch and you don't comment and you don't engage in the live streams and things like that, I'm basically just talking to myself at this point. But you guys are what make the channel, and we love you to bits for it. You guys are the best, and please stick with us for the rest of the year, because we do continue to front up, whether it's a bad week or a good week or an indifferent week. We continue to front up, and you guys do as well, and we're really appreciative of that, because here at the Centre Bounce, we do the hard work. We barrack for Essendon, so you don't have to. Bye for now.